Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Call a friend. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, in the final rush of our 2024-2025 season. A final rush which will see us try to complete a miracle. And this miracle, as we're all aware of it, is Champions League football. If we're not speaking miracle, we're speaking miracle 2.0, Europa League football, or consolidating European football in general. This final rush will see us play tomorrow against Lecce in a very complicated stadium. I'm a bit worried when it comes to tomorrow's game. We'll get into it, of course, in this dedicated match preview. And then after this game, we will have one of those runs that we will remember until the very last day of this summer. We will play Juventus, Lazio, Inter, Milan, Fiorentina, literally all together. Bring it on. I am ready. Wherever we will be at the end of the season, we will be. Let the wind determine where we will be. That's what I can say. Of course, we've faced quite a few obstacles. The biggest one being Dybala being injured, which will influence this end part to the season. In tomorrow's game, there are 4 players which did not get a call-up. One of them is Dybala, of course. The others are Rensch, Abdulhamid, and the fourth one is, I forgot who the fourth one is. I can't remember who the fourth one is, but Abdulhamid, Saud Abdulhamid, Rensch, Çelik, and Dybala will not be available tomorrow. How does the game change on a defensive spectrum? We'll speak about that as well. Right, we've got 9 games left, 9 finals. If we can get 100 likes in the match previews of these 9 games, I would love it, we would love it, and it would be great. So let's hit it. If you're watching live or not, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts going into this game. I think it's the classic game which we must not underestimate. Now again, it's repetitive because I always say these things in these games. It's a game which of course comes after an international break. This international break, as much as it was very much needed because we needed the rest, a lot of players stayed in Rome, so not only did they have a proper rest, but they got, they trained during this week together. Because, for example, the majority, in fact, all of the Italian players did not get a call-up from the national team. So it was a good and much needed international break. But of course, the negative side to these international breaks is that they do break your rhythm. We were living a very good rhythm. We were very good before this international break. Unbeaten in 2025, 6 consecutive wins going into the break. It's inevitable that we will have lost a bit of rhythm. We will have lost a bit of momentum. Hopefully, we will manage to kind of not make it noticeable in a way that we'll get 3 points tomorrow, because not getting 3 points tomorrow would kind of cut you off definitely for Champions League football. If you do get 3 points tomorrow, you would continue to put that pressure even moving into the big games. But if you don't win tomorrow, it's from being very unlikely still, it would become very, very, very hard. So we must win tomorrow. We need to eliminate the ghosts of this international break. We need to mentally eliminate the preoccupations of playing without Paulo Dybala. This is something that I'm certain Ranieri will have focused on. In these training sessions moving into this game. Power of the collective. Don't worry, we've lost our best player, but if you all work together, run together, fight together, sweat together, the absence of Dybala will be less noticeable for you, for the fans, and ultimately for our results. So yeah, it's why do I say it's a complicated game? It's a complicated game because, number one, we have a very bad record in Lecce. Both Mourinho and De Rossi failed to beat Lecce in the south of Italy. So Ranieri would kind of go there to break this voodoo mystery. It's a ground that we always struggle in. I don't know why. Lecce are not a good team at all. When I say that there are teams that deserve to get relegated more than others, well, Lecce is one of them. Lecce, I don't like Lecce at all. I think Lecce lack incredible quality. I don't like their manager, Gianpaolo. Their only good player is Kristovic, who was also linked with us this summer to be the second striker replacement. He bags goals. If you consider how bad the players around him are, and if you consider how weak Lecce is in general, Kristovic actually bags the goals. Let me tell you how many goals he actually has, because it's quite surprising. I saw it like last time. Yeah, he's got 10 goals and 3 assists. Like 10 goals and 3 assists for a player who plays in a bad team is not bad at all. So he's on fire this season. He's an interesting player. He's their big man. Their game depends on him. Their scores depend on him. Their goals depend on him. Everything about Lecce depends on this man, Nikola Kristovic. So, of course, defensive attitude tomorrow would have to be to kind of surround him and pocket him, of course. Because if you know him, then you know the rest of the team. But going back to why it's hard, yeah, it's always been one of those weird games that we never win. That's where my preoccupation is. Even after an international break, even without Dybala, we're 10 times better than this team. But I don't know. It's kind of the way this game presents itself that is a bit mysterious. Yes, as I said before, a bit sneaky. I wouldn't... It's the classic game where... Oh, my mom's shouting again. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't win tomorrow. It's the classic game. Like, this game comes to me in a need of a like 1-0 dirty win. If we win tomorrow, it will be a continuation of this 1-0 pattern, and the game tomorrow is the game that I don't care how you win. I mean, I truly believe that I don't care how you win any game as long as you win them. But tomorrow's game is the classic game where you need to push to score a goal and defend. Because if you score a goal and defend, Lecce aren't good. They're coming from 4 consecutive defeats in the league. Their last home win was in December against Monza. And they've lost against everyone this season. They've struggled against everyone. But they are a team that tends to stop big teams at home. They stopped Juventus before their crisis this season. They stopped Bologna in a 0-0 draw. They were about to win against Milan, and then Milan made that weird comeback, which in any other game they would have never made. So they scored 2 goals against Milan. It's that game. This game is dirty win, scrappy win, parking the bus, penalty FC, set piece FC, bullet header in the goal, like dig for the points and bring them home. Because, tomorrow's game is very important on a perspective point of view, because it's not the last game, but it's the first game of the final rush. And you need to prepare this final rush in a very good way. This final rush of 9 games is very delicate. If you step up into this final rush without a win, then it will further complicate you. So tomorrow is a very delicate win. Tomorrow is a game, not a win. It's a very delicate game, which we must be very careful, because it's the Roma game that we always struggle in. And the other reason I say the other reason why this game kind of, if I glance at this game, it presents to me as a bit of a danger trap, is the fact that numbers, it's for the law of big numbers. Law of, what's it called? The law of big numbers. The law of big numbers. Our unbeaten streak in 2025, our 6 consecutive win streak will have to come to an end. It's a bit of an accumulation of all these factors. Bad record in Lecce, the fact that this streak of wins and in general of 2025 good results, there will be that day where it comes to an end because of the law of big numbers. International break kills the rhythm. Dybala out and the psychological kind of approach that the players could have, let's give it our best. Let's give it our shout, because looking at the piece of paper that we prepared, remember, Cagliari, we crossed it out. Lecce, we said win. This is our Champions League hopes paper. Tomorrow, we must cross that correctly with a win, to then prepare for Juventus next weekend, where we must win that game as well, if we want to admire and dream for a Champions League spot. If we get at least 9-10 points of the next 4, then Champions League would actually be possible. Until then, we should keep our expectations quiet. Fully agree. I'm not going to add anything, because I agree. As of now, I don't think, even if we think this inside ourselves, we shouldn't let our opponents know that we're believing in a top four spot. Like, as of now, it's something that we can look at, but it's not my expectation, and it's not our objective. Because our objective remains consolidating Europa League football. That is our objective, which, seeing the bad start, is a very pushed objective. If then the cards on the table turn in your favor, so Bologna lose points, Juventus lose points, you win the derby, Lazio lose points, Fiorentina lose points, and everything circles around in your favor, then you can have a look at it. But as of now, it's good to have a good thought for it, but it's not our expectation. I agree. Will there be a watch along tomorrow? No, mate, unfortunately not. And I will have to do a match reaction on Sunday, because I won't be here tomorrow. I'll have to watch the game at my mate's house. So match reaction will be there, but on Sunday. It's good that we're playing on Saturday, so we can have a chilled Sunday, looking back at our game and kind of jinxing other teams. What do you think of Kristovic being linked with us? Not a bad second striker. My only fear, as always, is the pressure gap. He can perform really well at Lecce. Can he perform in a greater team like Roma? But he's not bad. I mean, he's bagging the goals for Lecce for sure. Right, predicted 11 is this. Now, oops, sorry about that. Okay. There we go. What was I saying? Yeah, kind of repeating what I said at the start. 4 players will be out tomorrow. Dybala, Rensch, Saud, and... oh my god, my memory is so bad. Dybala, Rensch, Saud, and... oh my days, I literally said it 5 minutes ago. Celik. So all of our right backs are injured. That's actually crazy if you think about it. So Salonekers will definitely play, because Saud, Celik and Rensch did not get a call up because they're injured. Now again, I look at this predicted 11 and I kind of ask the question, can it be any different from this? The only different thing that could happen is Baldanzi ahead of Pellegrini. But as I said previously, I expect something from Pellegrini now that Dybala got injured. I expect a last reaction from our captain. So as of now, in a game like tomorrow's, I would start Pellegrini ahead of Baldanzi, because this must be the Pellegrini moment. This is the moment for him to get this team back on his shoulders, regardless of whether he leaves or not. Now is the time to do it. Now or never. So people say he suffers from Dybala playing with him. You could say this. Well, now that Dybala ain't here, I expect a lot from you then. So I think Pellegrini will start tomorrow. I think Claudio will have this same thought as we all have. Now again, Hummels back in defence. Absolutely, because people who say Hummels shouldn't play anymore, or acting with their or just too reactionary. To say that Hummels can't play a game because he made that mistake against Bilbao is something that you can say 30 minutes after you lose the Bilbao game, because you're salty, because you're mad, because because you've got rage everywhere in your memory cells and brain cells and blood veins that you're like, no, fuck off, out, we don't want to see him anymore, he fucked our season up, put him on the stands. Then, after almost 1 month from that game, a bit less than 1 month, after 2 weeks from that game, you tend to be more rational and go, why can't Hummels play? Hummels literally made one mistake that, yes, did crucify your season, I agree, but are we going to ignore all of his great performances before that? Or are we actually going to question if he is capable of defending against 16th in the table Lecce, who only have one good player in their team? I mean, yeah, you can punish him, you can keep him on the stands, you can not let him play, but why? Well, you can start Nelson, as the little minutes that I've seen from Nelson, not bad, but Hummels, despite the mistake, is 10 different categories ahead of Nelson. So I think this idea of not starting Hummels anymore, I don't agree with it. He's with us. He won't extend his contract. He's got, 2 months to go until the end of the season, and then he'll probably retire. Let him play. I don't expect another mistake, and I can guarantee you that he won't make another mistake. Imagine he does. I'll look like an idiot. No, but Hummels starts, Indica Mancho next to him, Cone Paredes, who's coming from a great win in Argentina against Brazil, where he was the main character in that game, mocking Vinicius Jr. as well. So he's ready for this game. He's coming from a great international break, secured the Argentina qualification in the World Cup. He'll be fresh and ready to go. Salamaker's on the right, because we need speed, goals and creativity. Angelini on the left, of course. Up front, Sule, Pellegrini, to enter in Dybala's boots and get this team in their shoulders, and Dovbyk up front. Yes, it could be Elder. I wouldn't mind if it's Elder, but Dovbyk is coming from a goal. Dovbyk is suffering a lot. The only way he recovers from this moment is by scoring goals. So, and tomorrow is the classic Dovbyk game where he can score a sitter or score a tap-in. Lecce's defense is not good, and it's actually quite a very physical defense because they've got Baschirotto, who's a giant. So you will need a bit of weight up front to counter Baschirotto's physique. That is my predicted 11, and I actually think it's going to be that. I actually think it's 100% going to be that. The positive of not playing in Europe. I mean, there are no positives. But of not playing in Europe. But if you want to find a positive of not playing in Europe, it's the fact that formations won't change much. So, especially now that Dybala got injured, I think we will see this picked 11 in the majority of the next 9 games, if not all the next 9 games, apart from Baldanzi, Sule, Pellegrini and Osharawi, which will balance their minutes out, and Çelik, because Çelik was playing very well. So if Çelik had been here, I'd actually put Çelik instead of Hummels, but it's going to be this, there's no need for rotations. There's need for rotations in games, but there is no need for turnovers. We've got one objective, 1 game per week, 1 focus, so I guess that's a positive if you want to see it that way. What do you think about the Pioli and the De Zerbi rumors? Well, the last rumor that I heard, literally 10 minutes before going live, is that La Stampa, Italian newspaper, confirmed, I'm not sure how reliable this is because it's a very big statement, that Roma has picked Massimiliano Allegri. Again, I wouldn't sign my life away and trusting them 100%, but the last rumor, which came out 20 minutes ago, is that Roma has officially picked Allegri and Ranieri was a key decider in this. Again, I'm not sure if that's true, but if you search it up on giallorossi.net or forzaroma.com, you'll see that is the last manager rumor. We'll see. I wouldn't mind Allegri, I said it yesterday. He made a mistake, but it was never a red card. Unfortunately, I agree. I also think Cristante will start it instead of Paredes, who resumed back to training just today. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. But I think Paredes is fired up. Yeah. Pellegrini goal tomorrow. I see it. I mean, betting tip tomorrow, I'd go cluster of results, of exact scores, exact results. I'd go 1-0 Roma, 1-1, 2-1 Roma. I don't see Lecce winning, but I can see a draw. So, betting tip tomorrow, I mean, exact scores tomorrow would be 0-1, 1-1, 1-2. Close game. It's scrappy game, and we need to be a scrappy game tomorrow because it's so important to win and continue with this streak. Who scores tomorrow? I can see Pellegrini score, but if Dovbyk starts, I'll go with Dovbyk tomorrow. Also because if we do get a penalty and Dybala ain't there, yes, it's Paredes, but if Paredes doesn't start, as Julio said, then Dovbyk is there. So I'd go 0-1, 1-1, 1-2 plus Dovbyk to score. Right, I'm gonna catch you on Sunday. Koenig got a little muscle injury. It was only cramps. Yeah, it's nothing major. I will catch you on Sunday. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and we'll speak about it immediately on Sunday. I'm sorry if I can't go live tomorrow, but I won't be at home. So we will keep us updated on Sunday. Forza Roma sempre. 9 finals to be played. 9 finals where we will need to give our heart, soul, blood, and sweat. Wherever we will be, we will be. I just want one guarantee, and that guarantee is that we will give it our best in every single one of these 9 games. Then, wherever we will be, we can't decide. But as Ranieri always says, I want to see us believing, even if it's complicated, as we said before. I want a team which wants to take their chances, which has realized that they flipped the season from this to this, and that they are ready to fight. Also, to put less weight on the Dybala absentee and work as a whole to cover the holes. Boom. That's it. I'll leave you with that. Hit the like, subscribe. 100 likes in every single match preview from now until the end of the season. That's the goal. That's your goal. Get your friends and families to like, watch this video, and be part of this community. We're 40 subscribers away from 16k. If we can hit it soon, it would be great. And yeah, catch you all soon. Enjoy your Friday night. See you out.